Alrighty, we are going to jump into Generation 3 now of the Pokemon franchise, and this took place from the year 2002 up through 2006. Unlike Gen 1 and Gen 2, we have multiple regions to cover, so we have, of course, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald with the new region of Hoenn, and then we take a trip back to Kanto with remakes of both Fire Red and Leaf Green.
At the start of the remakes.
Yeah, and these remakes happened 8 years after the original Fire Red and Leaf Green. But I mean, if you're talking about like since the release of Pokemon Yellow, it's even shorter of a distance. It's like 5 or 6 years. So I mean, for reference, Diamond and Pearl remakes just came out, literally like a week ago, and that was 15 years after the original Diamond and Pearl. So Game Freak, at least, it seems they're taking their time a little bit more with remakes.
Yeah,
at least in terms of how often they put them out.
Yeah, just with the technology getting more advanced, like, I feel like they're just going to take more and more time as it goes on. They've been catching up a little bit because it's a bit easier to program games, I feel like, in a 3D engine.
Well, yeah, they just keep getting bigger, too. Like, I know the Down and Pearl remakes were made by some sort of third-party company. But on top of the main series games we had from Gen 3, we had a lot of spin-offs. More so than any previous generations. For the Gamecube, because this was also the Gamecube era, we had Pokemon Colosseum and Pokemon XD, Gale of Darkness. So those were two home console traditional Pokemon games, which was pretty neat for the time. They follow a more double battle focused gameplay, which I always thought was interesting. It definitely makes the game harder, I'll say. Pokemon Colosseum, you have certain boss fights where, like, and remember, this was old school double battles. This was the first generation to have double battles. So, but you have the guy who has Entei, who's rocking Pokemon with Levitate and Earthquake. And as a kid, I was like, holy crap, this is insane. This is so smart. Nowadays, that's bread and butter for doubles, but at the time, that was a big deal.
Yeah, well, abilities were new too, so it definitely added a lot more spice to the new game mode.
They had Shadow Pokemon, which was always like super edgy. I feel like the GameCube era was like the time for things to be super edgy. But they had Shadow Pokemon, it's like Shadow Lugia, that iconic box art for Pokemon XD.
Yeah, this was early 2000s. Everything was extreme and edge.
And did you know, like we said, it's not until Unova that like a main series Pokemon game has a region based on a territory outside of Japan, so it's like New York is what Unova's based on. But the Ore region in the Pokemon Colosseum games is actually based on Arizona.
Oh man, let's go AZ.
Exactly, right? We also got Pokemon Channel, which was kind of like, sort of like a spiritual successor to Hey You Pikachu. You like watch TV with Pikachu and kind of do little tasks with him. I remember either I had it or I rented it from Blockbuster. It's a very strange game. You could actually get Jirachi from Pokemon Channel.
No way, really?
Yeah, it was like one of the few ways. There was a Pokemon Colosseum bonus disc that you could get for like a special pre-order bonus. But there was also a method in Pokemon Channel where you could get Jirachi.
Oh, shoot. So that was like actually the easiest way. Dang, I didn't even own a GameCube, so I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, I never got it. I learned about this within like the last year. Yeah. There was also Pokemon Box on the GameCube, which, I mean, nobody I knew had this.
I gotta see how much this is worth.
Yeah, look it up on eBay to see how much this thing costs. It's
I don't know. It's hard with these things.
GameCube games in general are pretty expensive, but Pokemon Box is especially expensive.
$1,600.
Yeah, it's $1,600 right now.
Holy shit!
It's been expensive for a really long time.
Why is it so expensive?
It's just nobody bought it, so it's very limited amount. Very limited inventory out there.
I would probably never buy it though.
Yeah, right. Like
I feel like there's nothing special about it besides it being a thing that wasn't owned very much.
It's a thing that there's apps for. Now we have Pokemon Bank on the 3DS and Pokemon Home. Back in the day, if you needed that PC box storage, there you go. We're on the Game Boy Advance now. We have Pokemon Pinball, Ruby and Sapphire version.
Sick.
That game is sick. That game's a really good time. Like it's not just the pinball tables, which are both really cool, but you get high scores, which has always been a staple of pinball. But the reason you keep coming back is because you can keep catching and collecting different Pokemon, which was always really cool.
its own mini capture system mini game in it.
Yeah,
it's so cool.
You have to like smack the pinball, which is a little Pokeball, at the Pokemon a couple times to make sure you catch it. I really like that. We have Pokemon Mystery Dungeon now. That's new to Gen 3. So Red Rescue Team was a Game Boy Advance game, and then Blue Rescue Team was on Nintendo DS, which is really weird. It's very similar to like a Red and Blue Pokemon or Ruby and Sapphire, where like it's pretty much the same game, just with different dungeons on each version. I think there were some benefits to play the DS Blue Rescue Team, but otherwise it's practically the same game, just a DS port versus a Game Boy Advance port, which I always thought was weird.
So it came out like the DS came out in 2004, right?
Was it 2004? I think it was 2004. Yeah, like the end of 2004.
Yeah, and so did they do it just to like show off the new system or something? Like this, Mystery Dungeon?
Yeah, I imagine it was just let's put some Pokemon stuff on that system. But yeah, the DS had just come out, and so I'm assuming that they just really encourage those developers to put as many games on the DS as possible.
Yeah, it's nice that they still made a game for the Game Boy Advance, though, for the people who who didn't get one.
Oh, for sure. I mean, software sales probably kept up because of that. There's also Pokemon Dash, which I never had. I remember seeing commercials for it. It was just like you kind of slapped the stylus along the touchscreen to make Pokemon run in like a race. Apparently, it's a super short game. Like, you can beat it in like 4 hours casually.
Wow, that is pretty casual.
Do you remember Pokemon Troze?
Yeah, Pokemon Troze was super duper cool.
Actually,
super addicting.
I really like that game. The theme of it was really weird. Was it like spies or something like that? I can't remember.
Yeah. It was like spies, but like I don't think the plot mattered. I think everybody just wanted to do the puzzle things, honestly.
And I loved like matching like the faces of the characters. I don't know. I thought it was really cute. I'm terrible at puzzle games, especially as a kid. I was terrible, but
same. Really I was okay from Tetris, but that was a whole different deal.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's talk about sales. So just to recap, Gen 1 sold about 45 million. Gen 2 sold about 30 million. So the Gen 3 games, and let's just talk about just Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. Alone, the Gen 3 games sold at 23.28 million. So we're still like declining. But if you account for the fact that they had Fire Red and Leaf Green, it sold for 35.28 million units. So
heck yes.
So with that addition of those remakes, they did outsell Gen 2.
Yeah. Honestly, the remakes, they kind of deserve it. They did a good job with the remakes.
No, those remakes are
just having that.
Those remakes are really good. They're, to many people, like the definitive Gen 1 experience.
Yeah, definitely. I had to give it to them.
Yeah. So we're new now. We're in the Hoenn Region. This is the Advance era. So the Hoenn Region, full of nature, full of life, full of water.
Little trumpets.
Trumpets, yeah, absolutely. That GBA sound font doesn't have the best like sound operator on that system. And because it comes out of those tiny little speakers, they have to kind of increase the frequency or kind of raise the pitch of things to make them more noticeable.
It's like a bad mic in a game of Gmod. It's just busting through that speaker with some of the tracks that were going.
We have 135 new Pokemon. This is one of the best Pokedexes, in my opinion. I really like Gen 3's Pokedex.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Double battles are a thing now. So, competitive Pokemon, which starts next gen with VGC, but double battles will lead to that soon. Natures are a thing. So,
that was awesome. I love nature so much. It's such a good concept.
Boosting one of your stats, lowering another. Well, it's just really cool, especially from a casual playthrough. Like, no one playthrough will be the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
even if you choose the same starter, it'll most likely have a different nature or different IVs. You know what I mean? Different EVs. So all of that kind of comes into play. They had it to a degree in previous gens, but it's very similar to the modern interpretation of it in this gen.
Like, honestly, I felt like I didn't appreciate it much as a kid because they use a lot of adjectives that I wasn't aware of. Like, I didn't know what adamant was at all.
Yeah. Now I can just... I know most of the natures on top of my head.
Oh yeah, definitely. I never like lax, and that just continues to this day.
Yeah.
It didn't really change.
Because that lowers speed.
Yeah. slower speed, higher special defense.
Yeah. Abilities are now a thing. Which,
yes.
Like,
oh
whoa,
god.
Yeah, that's wild. So up until this point, Gengar could be hit by earthquakes, which is always really weird to me. And they kind of corrected that in Gen 7 and onward. They took away Levitate from Gengar, but whenever I go back and play older games, I'm like, oh yeah, Gengar can't get hit by that. And like Pokemon Stadium or Gen 2 games, he can be hit by earthquake. I'm like, what?
Yeah. It makes sense. Like, I feel like a lot of the reason why they made abilities is because stuff just, like, doesn't make sense sometimes. Like, yeah, why should Gengar get hit by an earthquake? He's a ghost. He's floating.
Well, it just gives, just more unique characteristics, which I'm all about. You know what I mean? More standout features.
Yeah, definitely made, just, like, playing the game, like, the not even the meta game, just playing the game a lot more interesting.
Yeah. T-Tar is Sandstorm now. Intimidate is a thing now. Intimidate's huge, right? Pokemon contests they exist now.
I think they're fantastic. I never get tired of Pokemon contests.
And now,
especially in this gen,
every move has like, what is it? Tough, cool, cute.
Yeah,
right.
Cute.
Is it pretty or beautiful or something?
Yeah, I think it's pretty.
Yeah,
beautiful. Yeah.
And then I think there's 5. Just more improvements to the menu and the inventory and the user interface as well. It's kind of building off of Gen 2, but expanding on it.
It was cool, tough, beauty, smart, and cute.
It was cool. Tough. One I missed. Yeah, tough.
Yeah.
Nice. The Battle Frontier was a thing. I mean, they had the Battle Tower in Ruby and Sapphire, but then Emerald with the Battle Frontier. Oh, it's
super big improvement. And it's just like the fact that there were so many like small things about it, like how you could find the pseudo-wudo.
Yeah. It wasn't just post-game challenges. It was its own little set of quests and stuff you could do, little areas you could explore.
Go into the artist cavern and gain that Smeargle, or seeing like how you can only catch Smeargles there.
Well, that's kind of... I mean, they remade Fire Red and Leaf Green, and one of the reasons was, since they jumped to the Game Boy Advance, it wasn't compatible with, like, the Game Boy Color, or the original Game Boy, so they couldn't trade up Gen 1 or Gen 2 Mons. Like, if you caught a Pokemon in Gold, you couldn't trade it to Ruby or Sapphire. So,
I see.
Part of the reasoning behind recreating Fire Red and Leaf Green was so you could re-explore Kanto and move those Pokemon up. And then in Pokemon Colosseum and XD, the main focus of those games was Johto Pokemon, so you could catch most of the Johto Pokedex through Pokemon Colosseum, and then kind of transfer it with the GB or the Gamecube link cable, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, just a good reason to buy every single game that Nintendo puts out.
That's how they get you. Secret bases are a thing. I remember spending a butt ton of time with secret bases.
100%. Yeah, and when you like went over to your friend's secret base and like just saw how cool it was, like, and you were so jealous, and you're like, I need to make my base like this.
Secret bases are sick.
Spinning tiles is definitely my favorite secret.
Yes, base. And they had it was the spinning tiles, and it always reminded me like the old Team Rocket hideout from Celadon City, the one that like sent you in different directions. Yeah, it's so cool. All the giant like pixel plushies you could get.
Hell yeah, the slides and everything.
Yeah, it was really cool. It kind of reminded me of in Pokemon Stadium, Stadium 2 at least, you could decorate your house with things that you've like earned in game and in Stadium. You could like set up your house with like plushies and stuff like that. So it kind of
straight up
reminded me of like that feeling, which I really liked.
Yeah, we're doing Animal Crossing before Animal Crossing.
Yeah, well, Animal Crossing was kind of a thing like end of the N64 or so.
It was? Oh yeah, true. It was on the GameCube too.
Yeah, but just around that time for sure. Let's talk about this set of starters. I think it's one of, if not the best batch. I really like the Hoenn Starters. Torchic, Mudkip, and Trico. I'm not crazy about Sceptile, but Trico and Grovyle have really... They have that coolness factor, absolutely. Yeah. Grovyle especially because of Mystery Dungeon.
It has a lot of personality in its design for sure.
Yeah.
Like, Trico just looks like a smug, like, overconfident kind of guy, but then he gets a Sceptile and he just looks super duper confident that he should be.
Ash's Trico in the anime with like the little twig he always had in his mouth.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's such a badass.
I always
Mudkip's so cute.
I love Mudkip. I always looked at the Trico line. Like, when it gets to Sceptile, it gets a little bit of a gut, and it doesn't have that hair that Grovyle had anymore, so it just looks like a balding, like, middle-aged man to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, it's supposed to be, like, one of the fastest starters, and it is, but, like, its design always looked kind of, like, chunky to me. I don't know.
Yeah, he was just bulky. He was a bulky boy.
Yeah.
Not as bulky as Swampert, though.
Oh yeah, definitely not. Mudkip is super cute, and I think Marshtomp has some haters. I love Marshtomp.
Marshtomp's amazing.
I love how derpy it looks. I love it so much. Just like the blank face that it has. It's really funny.
He's the perfect like grown-up version of Mudkip.
Yeah, and Swampert is probably my favorite starter of all time. Just the typing is really good. The water ground.
Oh, it's so
I
good.
love the design with like the fins and the orange and blue. I think it's really cool.
Man, Grovyle got like kind of cut short without that double typing.
Yeah, that's tough.
He's already got the toughest typing too.
Yeah, I mean they kind of come back to that with the Megas and Oras, but too little, too late. I don't know if Dragon Grass is the best typing.
Yeah, it's just not.
Torchic to Blaziken, I think, is really solid too, especially when you count for. I mean, later generations it gets speed boost, which is insane, but. Firefighting. This is the first instance of a firefighting starter, so we're not.
This is the best firefighting though, like by far.
That's an opinion.
Oh wait, no! I forgot about Incineroar. Wait, this might be.
No, Incineroar's Fire Dark.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I just really like Infernape, but I like both.
Yeah.
I think Torchic is really cool too.
That's where we're gonna butt heads. Infernape's the worst firefighting, in my opinion.
Let's move on. Let's talk about the legendaries of this region.
Yes,
because there's a lot. This is a big jump versus where we were at with like 4 legendaries or 5 legendaries, and then 6 legendaries in Gen 1 and then Gen 2. Gen 3 has the Regis. So the Regi trio has Latios and Latias, depending what version you're playing. It has Kyogre, Groudon, and Rayquaza, the Weather Trio. It also has Jirachi and Deoxys. So we are looking at 10 legendaries from the Hoenn region.
That's crazy. That's
a lot.
Many. Oh my gosh.
It's quite a lot.
That's what and like I wasn't even sure if like the Regis counted as legendaries, but they at like this point and how like rare they are, they're legendaries for sure.
Do you remember like the sequence of how you had to get the Regis?
Yeah, the whole like
first off
Braille.
you had to like what the hell, dude? Like
yeah, they had big expectations for us as kids.
10-year-old, 8-year-old, go ahead and learn Braille just so you can capture these 3 Pokemon, these 3 golems.
Yeah, they really didn't mess around there. they did not want to give it to us easily. Yeah. That's what made it fun. It was very memorable, realizing that it was Braille and being like, well...
Oh yeah, no, you don't forget
I got some research to do.
And they have Braille in their face, like the Pokemon.
I had to go to the library for that stuff. I had to go borrow a freaking Braille, like, translating book.
Do you have a favorite legendary from this gen?
I gotta give it to Groudon, honestly. Groudon's so
Groudon's
cool.
got, like, a really powerful look to it, yeah.
Yeah, he really, like, represents the Earth. Like,
absolutely.
Crazy amounts. And he's just, like, the fact that he's got, like, lava behind him and stuff. He's just cool aesthetic Pokemon.
I always thought it was really annoying how Kyogre was a water type, so it made it rain, which gives it a boost, right? Groudon is not a fire type. It's ground type.
He's just a ground type.
But he makes it sunny. Like, can't he at least be, like, fire ground? Maybe if he was fire ground, it would be an issue of, like, Kyogre just totally destroying him, but it already does.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just messed up.
Yeah. I think the primal forms give it the fire typing later, but
yeah, they
once
do.
Again, like...
And give it, like, the best freaking move in the game.
Oh, was it Precipice Blades? Yeah.
Precipice Blades.
Yeah.
Cool.
So about some of the characters, there's a lot in this generation to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
So, of course, our main character was it Brendan and May, right?
Yep, Brendan and May.
I always liked... I've been told that that's a hat that Brendan's wearing. Like, that's not actually white hair. But
what? For us?
I'm pretty sure. But I think that he just has white hair. I think that he's just a 10-year-old with balding gray hair for some reason. I really
No,
like
it's
the look.
silver. Come on, it's anime.
Silver. The platinum hair, right?
Yeah, the platinum hair.
All
straight
right.
up. I like how you pick the emerald outfits.
The ones that I have on display, yeah.
Yeah, the emerald outfits are good, though. I like
They
the
do.
color coordination.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Which team, Magma or Aqua, because we have a new set of evil teams, a set of evil teams.
Right.
Which team, Magma or Aqua, do you think had a better goal, had a better mission to accomplish?
Definitely Team Aqua. Like,
You think
we're gonna be real.
flooding the Earth or creating more land?
No, flooding the Earth. Fuck it. Restart it all.
Yeah. You think you can kind of side with that a little bit more? You're like, I guess that one kind of makes more sense.
It makes more sense. It's obviously the Team Magma one, but
Yeah.
I kind of sympathize with the good old big flood reset.
That's like either way, especially Team Magma. That's like a Dr. Doofenshmirtz like goal. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to create the Earthinator and create a whole new continent, and then people have to pay me to come live here. Like what?
Just destroys all the ocean water, just wrecks the environment.
There's a YouTube short kind of anime called Pokemon Generations.
Yes, I think I know what you're talking about.
There's one where it shows if Archie had won or had like released Kyogre.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh shit. Like the whole earth floods. He's like, what have I done? He's like, what have I done?
Survive.
They're like, Archie, what did you do?
It's so dumb. Oh god.
Outside of Brendan and May, whichever one you don't choose, becoming your rival, there's also Wally in this game.
Wally, I love Wally. That's my boy.
Wally's dope. He has like a little kind of character arc. He has some growth that he experiences.
Goes from a sick little boy to a true Chad man.
Yeah. Rolls up to victory road with his Gardevoir.
What was wrong with him? Like, he was a sickly boy.
I think they say he was sick, and so I guess it kind of stunted his like social growth. So he's like really shy and stuff because he was always quarantined.
In bed sick, yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
We have Professor Birch. I want to say it's Professor Birch. Yeah,
Birch is awesome. This is the one that got chased by Zigzagoon.
Yeah, he gets chased by Zigzagoons at the beginning. He is whichever character you don't pick. He is actually their father. So canonically, I think it's Dawn's dad.
Yeah,
but
it's Dawn's dad for sure.
He's got such a dad bod, dude. He's like his model I have on the screen. It's like flip flops. He's got the gut. He has like the
he's got the cargo pants.
He's got the cargo pants. He has like the chin strap beard. He's like, I love him. I love his design so much.
He's definitely like the most approachable professor. He's just like so cuddly.
Yeah, I agree.
The villains with the style.
Yeah, they had with Archie, who is the Team Aqua leader, and Maxie, who's the Team Magma leader. They had some serious redesigns from the original game to ORS, and I really like the redesigns because prior they're really bland, especially like Archie just literally has like a black suit. But like,
no, I like Archie. I like OG Archie. Honestly.
I love like the aquatic vibes. Like it's like this guy's definitely the leader of Team Aqua.
Like I feel like it just doesn't too
maybe
much.
It's a little overcompensating. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I just wanted to be a.
I think the Maxie one's really good though.
Yeah, Maxie one's goated. Like, but I like OG Archie because he's just like I feel like they're pirates and they should stay with piratic. Not like Aquaman's like sidekick.
Yeah, that is true. He does come across in that outfit as like Aquaman's sidekick. I don't know. It's kind of cut between this and Gen 4. This might be the last like memorable set of gym leaders, in my opinion. Like I love like Roxanne is dope, Watson, Flannery. Your dad is one of the gym leaders. Like that's so sick. You know what I mean?
They have to have the doubles gym twins.
Yeah, the psychic twins. Yeah, it's pretty dope.
Yeah. Wanda. Oh, I love you, Wanda. You're amazing.
Is she the Wiona? Is that the flying type one?
Yeah.
I think it's Wiona. But I could be
Wiona, yeah. It is Wiona. Yeah, she's awesome. I love her design. She's like my favorite gym leader.
Yeah.
Right next to Flannery. But your dad being a gym leader is pretty freaking sick as hell.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like my worst nightmare as a parent is my son becoming stronger than me.
That's tough.
Kicking my ass.
The Elite Four.
Solid.
I'd say it kind of falls off since the last gen. But
yeah,
that's a tough act to follow. Gen 1 and Gen 2.
I think Steven like ties it together though.
Dude, Steven Stone. My man's out here picking up rocks. He's in caves. He's doing his research. He's doing his archaeology.
He's so
and on the side, he's just the champion of the Elite Four. Like what?
Yeah, he's just no big.
He's got a Metagross, dude. Metagross is so sick.
Dude, I know. I wanted Metagross so bad. I didn't know how to get him.
Like, dog,
was Metagross version exclusive or was it?
No. After you beat the game, you go to his house. I forget.
Yeah, and he gives you a fucking.
It's the town that has the psychic gym, the 7th gym.
Yeah.
You go to his house, and he leaves you a little item on his desk, and it's a Metagross. It's a Beldum. It's a Beldum. Either an egg or just a Beldum already hatched.
It's an egg. It's an egg.
Yeah.
It hatches really the Beldum.
Yeah.
What a bro.
Yeah. The Elite Four, and I don't have their names. I want to say...
I know one of them's Drake. No.
Yeah, the dragon one is Drake. He's like the captain.
Oh, it is?
He's
yes.
Yeah, he's the fourth member. He's Drake.
I don't remember any of the others' names. I'm not even gonna lie.
But let me go in order, at least of their typing.
Sydney, who's the dark type.
Okay,
Phoebe. Yeah. Phoebe's the ghost one, who's the girl with the flowers in her hair.
I really like Phoebe. She's got that like Hawaiian
Phoebe's
look.
awesome.
I don't think it's ever been officially said, but I really wish they would confirm that she's from Alola, because she's literally like got the Hawaiian outfit on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes sense. Oh, so Sydney's the one with the red hair and the suit. He's the dark type.
He's dark type. Okay.
Yeah, and then Glacia's the ice type.
So dark, ghost, ice, and then dragon. It's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of steel, rock with Steven. He has a mix of like fossils with rock types and some steel types. Yeah, Steven's team isn't bad either.
Yeah, the Skarmory. He's got mad defense. Skarmory, Claydol, Aggron, Greydilly.
I think Blaziken goes to town on that team, but...
Oh yeah, definitely. Blaziken just like completely wrecks that team. You're good if you got... Well, there was a good amount of fighting types in this gen too, so...
Yeah.
I think Steven wasn't too crazy hard, but he was still... I think the Metagross and like the Aggron just wrecked me every time.
Let's talk about the anime really quick.
Yes.
Ash's team was pretty dope. I remember his Corphish. His Corphish is really cute.
Yeah.
His Trico evolved into Grovyle, which was really sweet. He had a Swellow and a Glalie, which I don't remember him using Glalie too much, but I do remember his...
Glalie was super duper underused.
I do remember his Torkoal. His Torkoal was really sick.
Yeah, Torkoal was like comic relief kind of, but still did stuff. Because this is funny hearing Torkoal go, Torkoal!
Yeah. Misty.
The worst... The worst crew, people. I hate these guys so much.
You don't like this squad?
I hate this squad. The squad has no chemistry at all.
The squad has no swag.
May just it's just Misty, but in like Emerald, and her brother's so annoying.
Let's say Misty's gone and Brock has stayed, but they replaced Misty with May, and May's little brother is tagging along. Which...
fucking Max.
Yeah, it's his name. I couldn't remember his name. Max.
Yeah, it's fucking Max.
I don't know. I don't mind May. I feel like May has a lot of like protagonist energy, which maybe she clashes with Ash because of that.
Yeah, she was definitely a lot stronger of a trainer than Misty, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like
May, but she's so close to Misty.
Yeah, she's literally like, you could just reinsert Misty. Give Misty the Mudkip, since it's a water type.
Exactly.
But yeah, not crazy about Max. I think May's whatever. Yeah, I like Brock and Ash, that's fine. But yeah, that's the anime, that's where we're at right now.
The Torchic never evolved, huh? No, the Torchic became Combustion, but it
I think it does become Combustion, yeah. And they might actually bring May, they might have brought May back in the more modern anime.
Yeah.
And she
with the Blaziken.
Yeah, she might have Blaziken. You have any personal preference with this generation? What's your favorite starter out of this collection we got?
Favorite starter is definitely going to be the Mudkip line. It's just such a good typing, such a colorful, like, interesting design, and Mudkip is like my true mascot for the series.
Dude, I love Mudkip. I love the Mudkip line too. I'm with you there.
Dude,
with that
Mudkip
being
was
said,
like a whole ass meme, man.
The Mudkip video from like 2008 or whatever.
Mad. Yeah, that was popping. That got quite a few.
That was huge. Yeah, that was huge. How many views that have? Kind of curious.
I got it now.
Yeah, there's one from a year ago. That's not 4.5 million. From 10 years ago. There's one from 14 years ago with 1.5 million. One from 10 years ago for 4.5 million. So yeah, very popular meme.
Pretty busted.
But yeah, I love the Mudkip line. Love its design. But this is kind of like Gen 1 for me, where I have a favorite, but I could go with any of these three and I'd be satisfied. If anybody told me they like Torchic or Trico or Mudkip, no judgment. You know what I mean?
Blaziken was pretty busted in game, honestly.
No, I mean, firefighting is just such good coverage too.
Yeah, and she had like a high attack stat, high speed stat, so she was just like blowing holes through people.
Yeah. Outside of the starters, do you have any favorites just from the region?
Yeah, definitely Altaria. I love dragon Pokemon.
Dude, this region is when dragons like woke up, dude. We had Altaria. We had Flygon. I love Flygon, dude. Flygon's so sick.
Flygon's so freaking
Salamence. Salamence is really good.
Just the main legendary was like a nice beefy dragon.
I'd say this region had this region had two pseudo legendaries, so it had Salamence and Metagross, both had super high stats. Both those Pokemon are super sick.
And they have just like the biggest legacy in the competitive scene too.
Mm-hmm. There were some really cool version exclusives too. We got like Seviper I think, was Sapphire.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
And is it Zangoose? One
Zangoose.
Ruby, and they're both like rivals in their natural habitats. Like they have scars on their faces from fighting each other. Like that's really hardcore. What the heck?
I had Ruby, and I really didn't like Zigzagoon. I wasn't a fan.
Zigzagoon, or you mean Zangoose?
Zangoose, yeah. I really want Viper really bad.
They're both really cool, but Jessie in the anime got Viper, right? They kind of replaced Arbok for a little bit. Remember that?
And what Pokemon did James get?
I know he had Wobbuffet during this time, but that was also.
He still had Wobbuffet?
Yeah, I mean he's had Wobbuffet. Never got rid of it.
I don't think he had
that's
anything.
Like their comic relief character.
Oh yeah, why not? I forget about Why Not. Why Not's adorable.
Oh yeah, maybe he got the Why Not first.
Yeah, he had Why Not for a while. It just went Why Not.
It was Cacnea. He got Cacnea, and then Cacturn it evolved eventually, but it was always shooting like needles and stuff like that. But outside of the dragons and the pseudo-legendaries, there's a lot of really cool like sleeper Pokemon from this gen. Spinda is from this generation. I think Spinda is so sick. It's just like drunk all the time.
It's crazy cool. And the fact that they're like they have the whole thing with their patterns like being like some patterns are like rarer than others, or like every pattern's different on the Spinda.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah, all the spots are like in different places on different Spindas.
I did not know that. Is that legit a thing?
I swear to God. And there's like a certain pattern that's like super duper rare. If you get it shiny, it's like crazy rare.
What?
You didn't know this?
How did I not know this was a thing? No two Spinda are said to have identical spot patterns on their hides. What? That's so cool.
Dude, this is the first time I've had a Pokemon thing over Davy.
That's so cool. I didn't know that was a thing. What the heck? I always thought Spindas were dope. I didn't know that's really cool. Okay. But there's also like some like sleeper Pokemon. There's like Tropias, which is just like it's literally like a banana tree.
That was a cool design.
Yeah.
Absol's so cool.
Absol's really cool. Have you seen its Pokedex entry? Its Pokedex entry is really cool.
It's pretty hardcore.
It can predict like disasters, and so it always appears to try to warn humans.
People think it's bad luck.
People think it's bad luck, but it's just there to try to warn them. So like it has a bad rap, but it still does it anyways because it feels bad for the people. Like, oh, it's so cool.
I think the thing that makes this like generation special is that it has a lot of really solid Pokemon designs. Like I'm looking at the list, and there's not really one that I'm like not a fan of. Honestly,
a good test of if a generation has a good Pokedex is like the early Pokedex. Is that good? Because that's what a lot of people are going to catch and then keep on their team since they get it so
Mighty
early.
Anna's sick.
I think of like Ludicolo and Shiftry. I really like Shiftry. How it has like the Tengu kind of like Japanese kind of design to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Ludicolo. I mean, Mirror B from Pokemon Colosseum. It's got the dancing, right? I love Ludicolo, it's so cool. And Water Grass is really good typing.
What was that mushroom, like, boxer Pokemon?
Oh, Breloom? Breloom's really good too. Yeah,
Breloom's like, fighting, that's like early.
Fighting
like
grass, early. And it gets access to Spore, which is, super good. Like, 100% accuracy sleep move, that's wild.
Really sick early game. I think that's what, like, got people hooked right on.
Yeah, then you have, like, Sharpedo and Camerupt. Those are both really, like, powerful designs.
Mm-hmm. Wailord is just like literally the biggest Pokemon.
In modern Pokemon games, they scale everything down to fit on screen. But I remember playing Pokemon Colosseum.
Yeah, it was.
And there's
huge.
a trainer who has like two Wailords, and it's just like with the entire screen. It like zooms out. It's like whoa! I'm like holy crap! It's really cool.
Yeah,
it's really dope. Anything you're not too fond of about with this generation? Any Pokemon you dislike, perhaps?
Well, not Pokemon dislike, but things in the game that changed. Like the main conflict of the story takes up most of the journey. Like the whole thing between like Magma and Aqua. It's shifted from like it being like a thing that's happening on your adventure to being your adventure.
Yeah, I guess that is true. Yeah, you're an agent existing in this story. This is not.
Yeah,
your
exactly.
Story.
It just makes you feel like a main character of a story that's already been written, and it's not as self-insert, but at least it's a good story.
No, I mean, I think Magma and Aqua is goals are kind of strange, but I still think that they're an intimidating team. To me, they're just Team Rocket, but with a theme. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
You could probably say that about most of the evil teams, but I think it applies really well. It's like water-themed Team Rocket or lava-themed Team Rocket. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it.
As far as Pokemon, I'm not the biggest fan of the Swabble, Gulpin, or the Gulpin Swalot. Yeah, that was this gen.
Those. Yeah, they're super forgettable. You know who?
Yeah.
I have a love-hate relationship. I think Plusle and Minun are super cute. But, like, they're just...
They try too hard.
They're like, oh, we have double battles now. We need to make these guys have an ability where they interact with each other. But, like, why the heck would you bring two weak-ass electric types to a double battle?
Straight up. At least Meryl, like, even though it's like a Pikachu type for that gen, it's got a good evolution.
Super's dope, yeah.
Puzzle and Mile, they got what, Helping Hand?
Need Helping Hand, yeah. Yeah.
It's whack.
It's whack. I like them, but they're not like anything to write home about for me. I don't know.
Yeah. Otherwise, like, I don't think there's many things to complain about the Pokemon.
I think it's a really solid Pokedex. I think, it might be my favorite Pokedex. Gen 4 might... We'll get there. I think Gen 4 is really good too, but...
yeah, I have one thing to say about this generation too.
Yeah.
There was like this rumor. It's kind of like the whole Mew under the truck thing.
Is this Deoxys?
Yep.
With Deoxys. Wait, is this when you would go? What's the town with Roxanne? The first gym. You would go into the one office and talk to the guy about the spaceships.
Yep, the rocket launches.
Yeah, and it was like a lottery essentially. Like you'd have to get like the right RNG, and if you got it, there's like a rumor that he would give you a ticket to like fly to like a meteor to see Deoxys or something like that.
It flew you to like a meteor actually. Yeah, little meteor garden.
I think in Fire Red there is an event you can get where you get like a special ticket. And it takes you to an island, and there's like the triangle for Deoxys, and you like follow it around the island. Then eventually it activates as an encounter with Deoxys. But it was an event, and I don't know if it was ever officially distributed in the US. It probably was by this point. I think after Gen 2 they actually started sharing events here. Yeah,
I would chill there for a hot minute in that same town, just waiting for hopefully my RNG to be good. It's Moss Deep City, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. You know what else was a thing that started in this generation? Remember e-reader cards?
Yes. Oh man, e-reader cards.
Dude.
That was
weird.
I never had them, but my cousin had them, and it's hype because I think that's when like Pokemon Tamers came out, and like swiping cards was like a thing.
Pokemon Tamers? What's Pokemon Tamers?
You don't remember Pokemon Tamers? No, not Pokemon Tamers. Digimon Tamers. My bad.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking about.
So like, I feel like that's when people were start getting hype about like scanning cards and stuff like that.
I
don't know. I was just never into it too much.
Yeah. Pokemon Emerald also has like the first ever like scripted cutscene in a Pokemon game.
Oh, I know, right?
Because every other time there's an event happening, you literally just like you talk to people and it's just text boxes, or it's still in like the overworld camera view. But Pokemon Emerald has that moment where you have Kyogre and Groudon encountering each other, and it shows like Rayquaza sort of wake up in the sky and fly
from the heavens. So, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Yeah, what are you guys doing? Break it up! What are you doing? Like, oh, come on, but he started it.
That's how you do Rayquaza is badass.
There's so many good memes. There's so many good memes of Groudon just standing on his little rock in the middle of the ocean, like yelling at Kyogre. It's like, what are you doing? What do you think's gonna happen?
Kyogre was always at a loss.
Really
Can we talk about the Battle Tower for a little bit?
Yeah, dude, for sure. I love Battle Tower. Like, just adding...
What was your favorite, like, section of the Battle Tower?
I always liked, like, using rentals. I think, and it might have been expanded more in Platinum, but there was, like, a Battle Frontier mode where you could get a rental team, and if you defeated your opponent, I think you could take one of their Pokemon and switch out one of yours, or something like that. And I always loved, like, building teams and kind of progressing like that, because that way you didn't have to, you know, go through the process of all the breeding and stuff.
Was that the Battle Factory, or was that the Battle Tower?
It might have been the Battle Factory, so I might be getting ahead of myself. I'm talking about Battle Frontier stuff. Battle Tower was just singles and doubles, right? And then multi-battles.
Yeah.
I mean, at the
big
time...
fan of the Oh, go ahead.
At the time in Gen 3, I didn't really do double battles, so it was more singles.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
I really like the Battle Dome. Like, the Battle Dome was cool because it was like a little mini tournament.
Oh, that's dope.
There was like 16 players or something like that.
In the Battle Frontier in Emerald, they also have like a Battle Pyramid, which is like a little mini dungeon you have to
Yes.
Like,
oh, yeah. Like with the blue tiles. It's all in the dark and everything.
Yeah, you had to like kind of escape out. I always thought that was really cool too. Pokemon Colosseum adds Mount Battle is what it's called, and it's 100 floors that you fight through.
What? Oh.
And I did it when I streamed it earlier. Was either early this year or the year? I think it was last year. If you do it floor 1 to 100 without having to use a continue, I'm pretty sure is what the rule is. You get a Ho-Oh, which was dope.
Oh my god! And you have
to purify every shadow Pokemon in the game, and then if you do the Mount Battle thing, you get a Ho-Oh. Yeah, you can transfer it to the games with the gameplay.
That's sick. That is an achievement.
It's pretty cool.
I also like how all the Frontier buildings, all the facilities, had like little mini gym leaders.
Yeah, they all had what are the Frontier Brains, I think is what they were called.
The Frontier Brains. Like Nolan, it was the Battle Factory. Greta was Battle Arena. Tucker was the Battle Dome. Lucy was the Battle Pike. Spencer was the Battle Palace. I forget the other two.
That's dope,
the Battle Pyramid and the Battle Tower, but it was just like it felt like a lot of post game stuff to do.
No, and like when they give them gym leaders and stuff, or their own little leaders, it kind of makes it feel like, I mean, there's nothing compared to like the Gen 2 post game where you go to Kanto, but the whole set of islands where you have a new set of leaders to take on is always really cool.
Yep, this is definitely peak post game. I think this was like just as good, if like it wasn't. I don't know. I feel like putting all of Kanto in Pokemon Silver and Gold was like a little bit extra compared to a post game like super hard challenge island.
Yeah,
but they're pretty up there as far as post game goes.
Yeah, that's why I like Platinum so much, because Platinum adds like that little extra island with all those events to do, as well as the Battle Frontier, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, and the Reverse World, or whatever it's called.
The Distortion World. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, Distortion World.
Alright, but that about wraps up our thoughts on Gen 3. Overall, I mean, how would you rank this out of the 3 gens we've gone through so far? Gen 1, 2, and 3.
I'm gonna have to go, honestly, these games, like, probably number 2.
Yeah.
Like, Gen 3 at number 2. Gen 2 at number 1.
Yeah.
And Gen 1 as number 3.
I would probably say I'm there with you as well.
Yeah. It's like, it's so hard to beat what Crystal, like, how much it whacks, like, the good formula. And it still feels like OG Pokemon, which I enjoyed the most. But
if to anybody who's like a newcomer to the Pokemon series, I would say like Fire Red and Leaf Green are a good starting point. Just Definitely. Because like if you look at Gen 1 and look at Gen 2, those games are super different compared to like where the series is at now. But you can definitely see a lot of similarities from the Gen 3 games with every other game afterwards. Like I said, with natures, with abilities, and all those other features as well.
Yeah, I think Gen 1's like very good for what it's worth.
No,
but
for
like,
sure. It's
if you really want to enjoy, if you really want a comfortable, good Pokemon experience, and you don't want to like have to worry about like the old clunkiness of the first ones, Leaf Green and Fire Red are like perfect.
Mm-hmm. And then a lot of nostalgia for Ruby and Sapphire too, especially the soundtracks. Not crazy about all the surfing that has to happen on the.
Oh my god, so many Tentacruel! Holy shit!
Wingles and Tentacruels, Carvana. Maybe as a kid I was just stupid and didn't pack repels, but I feel like when I was a kid I wanted to fight everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Like
you just want the XP.
I always wanted XP. I feel like nowadays I would totally just buy a bunch of repels and I wouldn't even care. And I think in Oras they cut down the water encounter rate. At least it felt like it.
God, and the swimmers were always so clever.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing out here in the middle of the ocean?
He's doing a box. He's doing a rectangle.
Why are you swimming boxes in the middle of the ocean?
Those guys are dedicated.
Swimming L
Olympic
shapes.
champions.
Who is this guy? Okay, but for real, that's what we got for Gen 3.
Yep.
we're still in good pace. We really like.
We're in the good times. We're in the good times right
I think
now.
we're still in the good times. Gen 3 was a good time. So we're gonna come back just a little with our thoughts on Gen 4. Plenty to say for there, I'm sure. But thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.